there is a dot on many seed syllables. And that dot is often either pronounced as ma or ang, both of which are wrong. Because if you look at the word ma, and that's always the example I give, then you don't say mang, you don't say mam, you say ma. In the original Sanskrit script, which used to be called the Brahmi lipi or the Brahmi script, there was the presence of two extra nasal sounds. One was called Chandrabindu. So there you would have this little saucer and a dot in the middle. And then there was another sound called Gwang sound, which would usually be, I don't know how to draw it in the air, but around like this, closing, and a dot in the middle. So like a cup with two little ears, handles, and, and a dot in the middle. A fly is in the middle in your tea. Then gradually, the Gwang sound got taken away. All nasal sounds were represented either by just Chandrabindu or just Bindu, the dot. And then, with time, as it progressed, the Devanagari script came into picture, which was a derivative, in fact, complete subset, but complete set of the Brahmi script. But in Devanagari, two letters got added. One was Gya, the other was Ksha. These two letters did not exist in the original Sanskrit script. And that is why in the South, even till date, they don't say Gya. They say the words transliterated, which is J and that and N. So they won't say, for example, Shri Maharagi. They'll say Shri Maharagni. So there's a slight N in that G. But in North, they don't do that. In North, G is written as G because it's a letter in Devanagari script. But when these two letters got added, the Chandrabindu eventually gave way to just Bindu, the dot. As you know, we are always looking for shortcuts in life. Somebody on Swami said TFE, that's thank you for everything. Good. So some say PP Swamiji, Param Puja Swamiji. So similarly, they said, what's the need to put the saucer? We are not really respecting guests anyway. Let's just give them the cup of tea without the plate. So it became just the dot. Hence, the sound is closely linked to the Devanagari script, which has kavarg, chavarg, tavarg, tavarg, and pavarg. So, ka, ka, ga, ga, na. Which means if my seed syllable has any of these letters, ka, ka, ga, ga, then the sound of the anusvara, the sound of the bindu, the sound of the dot will be na. So, green, 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 grang. And then if I move to the next one, for example, let's move a couple of lines down and then I get pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. Correct? That's what it is, right? So, which means if my seed syllable has pa, pa, ba, ba, then the sound of the anusvara, dot, will be more towards ma. So Brahm, not Brang. Brahm, not Brang. It's very subtle differentiation. You will not find it anywhere. But this is the great secret of mantras. And I've never really explained it with this level of detail earlier. And that's really how mantras work. In the end letters of all the lines that says na, na, like vyanjan, there's a word, and then ma. They basically represent how anusvara is going to be sounding, or should be spoken, or should be produced. Anuswar means dot, bindu, sound, nasal sound. All Sanskrit chanting has dominant presence of nasal sound in it. All. The presence of anuswar is very important. In sandhi, when we join two words, sometimes you may use ma, or sometimes it's replaced by ra, like bhur, bhuva. So it's actually bhu, bhuva. But when you say them together, it's replaced by, it's given the additional sound of ra, om bhur bhuva swaha. So when you do sandhi, the sound of anuswara changes. But in mantras, it's written as it's written. So if you have a word where the dot is resting below, let's say, ma, then ma becomes the sound of the bindu. If it's resting before pa, then that becomes the sound of the bindu, the na in the end. So you just have to go back to what you learned in your nursery, or kindergarten, in school, that script. This child went home, and he had just started going to school, and his mother said, "What did you learn today?" He said, "We learned to write the alphabet today." "Oh, okay. And what did you write?" He said, "I don't know." She said, "What do you mean you don't know? You wrote today." "I haven't learned how to read yet," he said. "I've only learned how to write." So I hope that answered your question. Because if I just gave you the pronunciation of the Navarna Mantra like this, which was the easy route out, I could have said, but that would not give you the science behind it. Now you know, hopefully, finally.